a Mercedes GLC 300, which 300, to be honest, means nothing. It is a 2-liter turbo, but that's how Mercedes named them. I mean, very first time when they came to the market, quite frankly, it was like a 2010 when they walk into this segment. It's the compact crossover or SUV or whatever you want to call it. And it was a very desperate time for the Mercedes. Mercedes was so desperate because from one hand, BMW X3 was already inside the market, very strong. They were established. The brand was known. Everybody loved it. And it was followed after the X5. And then Q5, Audi was like a copy paste of the Q7, but in a smaller. They come up with the Q5. So Q5 was like a all around perfect crossover on a compact market. I mean, they were selling like a candy. So Mercedes was in the rush. They come up with this GLK, which, to be honest, it was kind of like out of the desperation. Like they were really desperate, and then they come up with the car that, to be honest, from the outside, maybe at the one go it was okay, but I mean, interior was really, really bad because it's like everything was coming from the C-Class, which that C-Class by that time, it was like a disaster. Disaster interior, plastic and all over the place. And I mean, the cubicle shape and everything, it was actually never a successful crossover. I mean, it was a great thought, and it was funky, and kind of like the advertisement was like advertising a bunch of young guys, which is kind of like they tried to sell it to the young crowd, but it didn't work. It never works, and it was not successful. And even the second-hand market is not really good. Car had so many problems. That engine was too weak, 200 horsepower, blah 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 blah. So I always thought that, come on, the GLK, it was like a total disaster. And then they come with the second generation, which practically then changed the name. They put the GLC. The reason is they wanted to wipe the bad memory of the GLK. I mean, there's always a reason behind the name change. And I was thinking that, come on, Mercedes. I mean, you guys are all of the best car manufacturer in the world, and you already have all the knowledge and the data and the information from the competition and your very bad brand GLK. So you're gonna come up with something much better. I mean, surprisingly, they come up with the GLC, which was kind of like on its time. Get the C-Class and kind of like stretch it from the up and down, and then you can come up with the GLC. Interior, of course, carried over from the C-Class to the GLC. And yeah, the engine was I mean, it was a big improvement, but the main problem with this car, as you can see, I mean, it was not the interior. Interior was okay. To be honest, this interior, when it's introduced on a C-Class, it was actually very eye-catching in 2014. I mean, yes, we were always criticizing this screen, which we never thought that why we should have such a big frame around. I mean, what's the fucking problem? And then we had the issue with the squeak from everything, which was build quality. But other than that, it was actually okay. Look around. I mean, it was pretty, and it still is. Even after a couple of years, everything looks nice and kind of like a rich and well built. And okay, the steering wheel is pretty old now. It's just but I mean, it's still okay. These gauges, the cluster gauge is quite old. I mean, you got to be honest. And then the infotainment system was a disaster, and it still remained to be one of the disaster, but it was carried over from the previous generation. Slow and sluggish, and although despite the fact that they add so many other graphics, they just actually make it even worse because it looks good, but it's just like a bloody slow. But my main problem with the GLC was that when you order a GLC, if you don't go with all those AMG packages and night package and this and that and bling package and show me the lights package and all this stuff, you're not gonna get a decent luxury car, or let's say the crossover, because the car, I mean, the SUV at the base model was like it's so bland, and especially they will actually even let you order it without the LED headlamps and all this stuff. So I was thinking that, why the hell you want me to order a Mercedes without the LED and all of those? And it's just like and then I was starting asking this question. I said, why you want to buy this car at the price tag of $50,000 in Canada with such a, I mean, simple and a kind of like a ugly look, where you can actually pay $35,000, $15,000 less and get it from a non-premium brand, something much nicer. I mean, and when I say it, I mean I mean it. I mean, for instance, my favorite Mazda 6.5. I mean, fantastic interior, really nice, well built, peppy engine, sound good, everything, and you save 15 grand. You can buy a Mazda 3, maybe put it on the side, give it to your son, or something like that, or any other, the Honda CRV or whatever. I mean, because when you go and buy a premium luxury car or SUV or a brand, you're expecting bling, and to get to that bling, you really need to get close to $60,000 mark to really start making the car looks okay. You just have to go from the 18 to 20 inch wheels, then you have the AMG package, and then the full LED headlamp, and then, so that's premium package added, night vision mode package, just get the grill, and then so these things was, I think it was like a Achilles heel on this brand. They never did good. They never sell as much as X3s and the Q5, well, at least in Canada. I mean, still people were leaning toward the Q5, and despite the fact that this is nice, and I mean, this is 6 years old interior, like 7 years old. It came 2014. This is 2021. I mean, still, I can live with this. I cannot live with this. Seriously, I cannot live with this, and I really wanna kill myself for this. But I mean, the rest of it is absolutely okay. But guys, it feels cheap to drive. It doesn't give you that sort of the German feeling. I don't know why. Or maybe I'm expecting too much from the brand. I mean, this might be it. Anything else? I mean, the new GLC is actually coming, and some of you guys might have seen the photos, the spy photos. I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of the new language of the front fascia and the grille and the headlamps and all the stuff, but this is where the Mercedes is going. I hope that the GLC remained something more, I mean, more competitive toward its competition, because the more competition is good for us as a customers. But anyway, let's see the new GLC with so many monitors inside is going to do any better. Yet to be seen. Thank you very much, guys, and those are our first English vlog.